Hi everybody. Today what I'm going to do is take this Lazy Susan that my wife bought me and I want to make it into a turntable to display engines or new cars that I get. So first thing I want to do is paint this gray because it has these grooves, as you can see on there. It looks somewhat like a lens in a lighthouse, but that's on the bottom side. Once I spray it, you won't see that. So I bought this Rust-Oleum chalked, and it says chalky smooth finish ultra matte paint. I've never used it before, but I figured it might look like concrete, so give that a try. That'll be step one. All right, we're outside, and there comes coat one, and hopefully there won't be cars going by making all kinds of noise. All right, now let that dry. Okay, to make the piece to hold the track on the Lazy Susan, I'm gonna make it look, like a turntable sort of. I found these this girder set at Dave's Trains and Things in Binghamton. I don't know what these are for, but I'm gonna put them on the outside so they're stabilized. I'm gonna space it to hold some code 100 track. So I have a little secret for you. All the cool kids use a code 100. I'm just joking. Anyways, so I'm going to space it out correctly. Use some old styrene I had. Probably cut it in 1-inch increments. Place it inside. Probably this way. To make this nice and square and rigid. And if you notice, let's see if I can get this. It steps down. It goes down right here and down right here. So I'm going to use these styrene strips and get this. Place a little piece here and then place another piece on top of here to make this nice and flat across so I can mount the track. And I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to put another piece of styrene on top, make it solid, or just, okay, that worked out well, didn't it? Or just glue the track down right to the plastic. But I figured, if I actually did a solid styrene across, I could just put little screws and screw the track right into place. And I'm not going to use this section of track. I'm just using to get the spacing. What I'll probably use is I have a brand new box of brass Code 100 track that I got years ago. And I'll just cut it to length. It'll be longer than this, stick over. So I can fit longer engines, because this a modern engine will barely fit on a section of track. So, gonna get to work in cutting 1-inch pieces. Okay, I'm going to go with my last bottle of Tester's glue and start gluing the styrene blocks in place. And hopefully I got them on there more or less 90 degrees. And I think I'll go with 5. You know what? Tester sets up nicely with this bare plastic. We're going to do wow. All right. I decided to go with 5 since I had enough styrene to do so. And sort of put this one in the center. All right, and let's let that dry and set up. Okay, now I'm going to glue the 2 halves together. And I don't care if I get too much glue because I plan on painting the girder pieces black. So whatever over glue I might have will get covered up. Alright, so I'm going to use my miter box turned upside down and line it with the line on the grid on the work mat. Put this together like so. Put this, oops. Go to this line. There. Now that should be square. Hopefully. You know what? Let's put a piece of track on and see how it looks as far as squareness. Oop, I don't want to disturb it too much. Yeah, that's going to work. Okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't screw up. I don't think. And I just checked on the turntable. It'll need a second coat of that chalk paint. But I'm not going to bore you with showing that. So let's let this dry. Alright, so I was watching Sidetrack Sunday on YouTube. And then I got sidetracked, but I cut out the little strips here and glued them on, and then realized I wasn't putting that on video. Not like you missed much, but basically nothing fancy. Just this thin styrene. I just measure it just by eye. Put my finger on where I want to cut it. Try to make it somewhat square. Because it doesn't have to be perfect, because you're not going to see this under the track. This is just to make everything level. And boom. I got a piece, and I'll just cut out 3 more. And I'll glue them on right on top. So like I said, we get a nice level platform to mount the track on. And I think what I'm going to do with the track is, instead of gluing it on, when I put it on here, I'm going to drill little holes in the ties and use metal little track spikes, a little touch of glue, and just attach it that way. Because once I paint this, glue doesn't seem to work well on paint. So, and I did put a second coat of that. You can't really see it, can you? Chalk paint on the turntable. It came out pretty good, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and glue those white strips of styrene on, and we'll paint this black. Okay, so I went ahead and painted this. I glued on those strips. I was going to paint this black originally, but then I was looking at this moss green I had, spray paint. So I decided to give that a shot. I don't look too bad. It does actually look more like a highway bridge than railroad. But I thought black would probably lose, detail, and I don't know. That really makes a difference for what I'm doing this for. But I cut out a piece of brass flex track, and I used my nickel plate Berkshire to give me the idea for length. I figured that'd be long enough. And how I'm going to attach this, I'll put it on top, and then I'll just take my little drill and drill like every so many ties. I'm not sure yet how many. And I have a drawer of these rusty track spikes. So I'm going to use those. I'll snip them to length and just use some CA glue, super glue, to hold the track in place. It'll look industrial, so I'll get started on that now. Okay, so on this length of track, I found the middle tie, which is right here, and we'll just quickly drill a hole on this side. Get closer. Oops, let me drill through. There we go. Turn around. And drill a hole in the other side. There we go. And we have our hole. And like I said, so what I'll do with that is put one of these rusty spikes through, if I can do it or not. Of course it's not going through. Of course it's not going to work on camera. But anyways, there's there we go, like that. Like I said, I'll snip them down about yo. And so now I'll just go like over every third tie and put a hole in. And just, you know, align it up with, there's a center. Whoops. Should probably be watching what I'm doing on the camera while I'm doing it. Not easy. Anyway, so this is the center of the girder. Line up with a hole. So we'll just go 3 out until about, you know, here and here. So that's probably about, I don't know, 6 spikes per side. So I'll go ahead and drill that. I won't video it because it'll just be a bore. But let me get that done. Okay, so I have the track lined up on the girders, nice and centered. We have our center tie lined up with the center post. So now we'll go ahead and, whoops, of course I just moved it. Make sure it's, let me see again. So now we'll hold it in place and drill a hole in the center. Hopefully this goes smoothly. Let's see, how far do we go? So we got a hole. I'm not sure how deep I got. Let's see. Take my snippers here. Get a rough idea how long we need. And that bit just went flying into space. Who knows where it landed. And let's see if we can get that to go in. See that go in like so. I think I gotta drill the hole a little deeper, but that's how I'm going to attach this, because I didn't want to mess up the paint job and put glue in the bottom of the ties. Plus paint doesn't, you know, doesn't always glue well. So let me continue on with that, and so hopefully you get the idea what I'm doing, and I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, I've got all the spikes in place. We'll zoom in on that, as you can see, so on and so on, to hold it in place. So now we'll put it on the Lazy Susan, aka turntable. See how it looks. Well, there it is, and to be honest, I don't know if I like it. So let's try something here. What should I put on there? Because the whole idea was to be able to show new engines and stuff that I get. Alright. And be able to turn it so you can see all the details without me manhandling. I don't know. What do you guys think?